So today's November the 7th, and I just remembered that I think it was November 7th. I was here 2 years ago, or that might have been the Walmart video, but it was in November, and it was the fire show, Fire from Heaven show. Sky opening and closing was the another one, but catching them red-handed was at this park right here. I mean, it's not fire, it's more cold looking. This is what it needs to start sounding like, day in and day out. When you're resting on the acres that they promised, and they never gave it to us. There's been like a million thoughts that I have that I've been just not going on. Like when it involves catching the criminals in their lies, it's so freaking exponential that I can pick apart basically every sentence that they say and then go over it and record it, but then it just takes up so much damn time finding the timestamps, these elite mouthpieces videos, and it's just me. So I've been getting to that point where, I mean, it's known. It's who Kleck is, why he's doing what he's doing. The ones that already can see it, you already know where this is heading. You already know. I think it's just time for the events to happen. Let's go. Let's see everything that you got, Kleck. And the reason we're going to know that it's Kleck, who's responsible for it, at least the face of it, is because you'll see the events happen very shortly, just as predicted by him. Get yourself a little, I mean, from here it looks like a flashlight just poking through. But it's a blanket. It's a quilted blanket. Man. I would have never thought that I would have found out who's actually responsible for this 2 years ago to date. When I was strolling in this park, just looking up like, this is not real. Man, I mean, I can write a book. I can write plenty of books on this story, but only after it's proven, of course. You can't write a story with a false prophet, all these false predictions that nothing ever happens. You're gonna sell one book that way. Only when it happens. But there's no more buying or selling, so it's all free. All you got to do is just provide the ink and paper. Then there's your book. If you have the ink and the paper, here's your book. I know, right? Real interesting book. I got to share it with somebody. This is my diary after all. But I do realize I'm actually talking to people too. Now I do. I didn't really think of it before. Because the trolls messed that up for a while. They screwed it up for a little bit. And I came back around like, you know what? Even the trolls need some attention. Because they're the ones that are way lost. They're like way, way over there. They don't just go astray. They're like over there in the woods, through the mud. And I know there's people that think that they're gonna get in this like position where they're in rulership and they get to do shit like corruptly and even more wicked than before. And I know there's a bunch of yous out there. But, you know, I just like to share my feelings beforehand, have it documented, the feelings beforehand, and then the after, because we're all going to remember what happens from hereafter. And just to have an inkling of what's going on in my mind puts me at ease, because, well, like Kleck said, when you know that you're going to get burned and die, you're okay with it. It's like, yeah, I'm good now. At least now I know. And you receive your inheritance after you die. And meanwhile, you know, just keep suffering through persecution and torment while you're living life. I mean, that is why God created us, to live our human life on earth and enjoy it to the fullest. But if you follow the Kleck ways, you will never be at peace. When he asked you, are you at peace? There's no. It's like a no way. Because he creates that anxiety. But again, he has to exercise his right. All the way to the very end. To have it proven out. Without a doubt. So how was I supposed to know 2 years ago that I was going to be on Jonathan Kleck's ass trying to get him to tell the truth and just actually get him to keep talking? If he can keep talking, he's going to give me pinpoint dead accuracy predictions. All right? That's what Kleck will do for me. The more time goes by without the event happening, the sharper my mindset gets, because every time I hear the message, I can read what the actual message is. And it's definitely a prolonged thing that's why when it actually happens, it's like over and done with, just like that. It's like the cocoon is hatched and there. That's it. That one day is all it takes. Because it only takes 1 day to 1 hour, 1 second to tap Johnny on his shoulder. I mean, how much longer does it have to get prolonged? This waiting period it's been prolonging it enough. It's time to see the action. All right, well, you're already seeing it, but I'm talking about the actual show. And he's got it up there. Where you at, Kleck? Huh? I mean, funny shit if you seen him coming from the sky, landing on the X over there. You know, falling from the sky like a fallen angel with his teddy bear or pillow. So I just like to share my my dreams, right? My dream is to be able to do whatever it is that I want to do. And I know that if I can do what I want to do, it does nothing else but other than benefit every other single human being on planet Earth. If I can do what I want to do, if I get my time freed up where I can actually, it ain't retirement, it's just living. When I can start living my life, then it's easier. It's easier to see it ahead of time for me that these feelings I get all the time, and I know Kleck tries to imitate them, but he can't. You can see right through it. He doesn't feel. He doesn't have feelings. There's no genuine. He's not genuine right now. And I'm sure he can be a nice guy, but when you're on a power trip like that, yeah, you kind of tend to be smug. So I just see a different take on the person that's going to take rulership in this world. I see it happening differently because he's fitting the Bible pretty damn good with Belshazzar, that king. The king that just didn't know any better. Daniel was like he was put away for a while, and then he wasn't needed until this king appeared. So then, and then on top of that, he didn't invite Daniel to the damn party. Ain't that disrespectful as all hell? You think God was happy with that? No. Nope. I've talked myself into a new future. I literally talked myself into it. I didn't even do anything physically. It's all words. And if anybody else out there feels like me and does videos, and you feel the same way, well, then that's perfect, because you're supposed to. But sometimes people know that they're the only ones that can see something. So do they? And these are different gifts. So what do you see? Other people see different things. I just see patterns and codes and bullshit and fakery and carrying their purse and a script. Everything Christ told them not to do is what they're doing. So they're very easily recognizable. And they try to lie so damn much, and they repeat their stories over and over again so they can just get it down packed. And all you gotta do is just tell the truth from the gate. See, that's why people that are on the inside, when it's like you swear an oath, but now you're seeing shit like this and you ain't agreeing with it, but You feel like you got to kind of follow the program, because if not, you never know what'll happen. Well, that feeling comes from the fact that you signed something and swore secrecy. So if you never swore secrecy from the gate, and then you start telling the truth, finding things out, I don't think there's a punishment for that from either end, because it's like more of a mutual respect from the opposition. It's easier to be me, because I can just say anything at all that's on my mind, anything at all, anything I want to say. And what I want to say are the thoughts that pile in my head. I have a waiting room. There's like thoughts knocking on the door waiting to get in. They don't just barge in like they used to. They literally got to take a number and sit and wait. Other people, and this is how I used to be this way too, those thoughts would just barge right in. No matter what you're doing, barging in all the damn time. Now they've learned to respect the fact that I can see them coming before they get there, and then they know. It's like those little bastard demons are like, we're not getting over on Robin. Let's try that other one over there. He's still vulnerable. And then since then they have to sit and wait in the waiting room. If I feel like I want to entertain those little bastards for now, because they are like Satan's little children. They just need attention, and when you finally give them some attention, they kind of back off of you and leave you alone a little bit. You don't have to do what they want you to do, but when you give them a little bit of attention, I've learned that with you trolls, I become your favorite channel because of it, because you guys are hired to troll me anyway, so I'm not part of your organization. I'm your enemy, supposedly. So now I can see what my enemy has in store for, the entire world. But man, is America going to get it. They are going to get it. Paul Begley's mentioning fault lines today, after yesterday of me saying that Kleck is he's looking to create a nice big seismic earthquake somewhere along the lines that will dominate the news. It'll start getting the news attention now, because God's wrath is coming, and Kleck is behind the controllers. Look, I don't care what my title is. I don't care what Kleck's title is. I don't care what Steve's title is. It ain't about titles. It's about who needs to be in that position to make the right calls to better humanity. Who should be in that position? Well, if I had a vote, I definitely, if it was between Steve and Kleck, I would pick Steve, because I see that he's already repentant. He's still got the pride, though. He's acting like he ain't, but he still has to play that role all the way to the end, just like the WWE wrestlers do. But I don't feel comfortable knowing that Jonathan Vargo Kleck, Adam Schiff, that he would be in charge. Like the way things are. I don't feel like I have free will with him. I feel like I'm forced. Like anytime I feel like I'm forced to do something, I automatically just don't do it. I just shut it down, because I don't allow them to barge into my private chambers anymore. They can't just barge right in. They need to make an appointment. They need to make it clear why they're there, like what's the reason. And if I feel like teaching them a lesson, I'll entertain them. And if I don't feel like messing with them that day, I just ignore it. It's looking more like a fish tank or something. Like I'm stuck inside of a fish tank. So yeah, I definitely feel like I'm the only one that can see what I am seeing. And the result of it in the end. Said a long time ago, 7 billion people will be saved. I just didn't know how. I thought it would be like, I thought our bodies would get raptured or left behind and our soul would float up. That was even as up to like a year, maybe a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago, I think. So I had my ideas about the way things are going to roll out. I just, because I didn't know how they were going to roll out. I just knew that it would. It will happen. It's just how is it going to happen and when? I don't know. So let me try to figure that out and put a date on it. Because the end, it's like the end vision of what's going to happen. You can already see it because you can just turn on your television and just imagine the end of the world. It's going to look exactly the way it's going to look when you turn on the television right before they tell you that it's the end of the world. And Kleck has everything to do with it. $7,000 a month. $10,000 guaranteed after 3 months. Sounds enticing. See, here's the thing though. Kleck knows that the dollar bill is going to collapse. He's not going to put his name on it, without knowing that. He's not going to put his artwork on the back of money without knowing what's going to happen with that money in the future. No. Especially when he can predict the bombings to happen on the buildings, which is predicting the future. Unless you have the script and you already know it's the future, then there ain't nothing predicting about it. That's why I predict the future, because if you can see their events taking place, you know that that's the event. Details about the event, how it's going down, who it is, but it's like where and when does it happen at, what time, what date, hit or miss. I'm fine with hitting or missing because this is my journal. I just talk to my journal. Talking to my journal the same way I'm talking to the person that I'm walking next to. Believe me, my wife gets an earful, and I can't wait to shut my mouth for that reason. Just for that. It's like, man, I'm never speaking again after that. That's not what it means. It means after that phase, I'm done. I'm done explaining, done trying to prove, done. Now here's the next phase. It's proven. Here's the next phase that we're all getting ready to go through. Anybody that's followed this channel, there's another phase that happens, and it's called the phase of reality of the truth, and it's going to be bitter sweet. You'll know the feeling when you feel bitter and you feel sweet at the same time. So what's going to be for the people that don't live in Philadelphia? Well, or in the States. It could be pretty sweet that the event happens the way I said it did, but I'm sure it would feel a little bitter if they said that all of Philadelphia was destroyed by the star or an asteroid or something that came from heaven and destroyed it, or that I was in the middle of it and I died because of it. So I'm sure that would feel a little bitter if you believed that that was true. That's why I'm saying it ain't. It's the illusion show. It's the Grand Junction illusion show. It's the party. The deception party. When's the day of the Lord? I don't know. If I had to take a guess, the day of Jonathan Kleck, I'd say it's November 21st, 2019. I'd say from that point on, because he's already said the missiles are coming 11/21, but you know, it was like 3-something years ago. Yes, that would be my choice. Is that freaking Mr. Krabs? You gotta be shitting me. It sure looked like it for a second there. Oh yeah, the future that I see for myself, it'll be proven when the events happen, and then from that point on, it's the second phase of don't have to prove that anymore. You now seen it for yourself. Your own eyes seen it. I mean, I guess you can kind of see what you want in these clouds sometimes, but other things are pretty obvious. But man, how could they do that? How could they? You're trying to tell me this is fake, Robin? I mean, you probably should go see somebody, talk to somebody about your theories that you got there. Yeah, no, well, maybe, yeah, I probably should talk to somebody. I'd help open up their eyes as well. Like, hey, look, come here. You see this video? Take a look at all the evidence here that I presented against this character. Just as fast as this changes color because of the camera, because it ain't catching up or whatever, that's as fast as they can change the color of the sky themselves. Everything is a split second. I try to enjoy this as much as I can. Allow myself to just let it sink in. Just enjoy it, because nobody's gonna feel the way that I do about the end result. Nobody can possibly feel the way that I'm gonna feel about it, because I put in all that work to try to figure out what their plan is all the way through. When you see it happening, I literally spoke all these words into existence. I believed it, and then it comes to pass and it happens. So I'll just share it with my subs that, like, you don't have to believe whatever it is that I'm saying, but for whatever reason you're still here, you know that, or at least you feel like, I'm going to be honest with you. There's no other way to be. What's the point of being anything else? It's sickening when people try to play games like that. The amount of scheming that they'll go through just to cover up one lie is like ridiculous. They'll make up 5 different excuses just to cover up one lie. It's so much work to do, but that's why Satan has to do all the work. So easy to just tell the truth. So because I hopped on YouTube 2.5 years ago, fed up with the bullshit, found out in the end who it is. I've said it beforehand. The evidence will come out when the events happen. It'll prove that I literally did find the person that people are going to say in the Bible, like, is this that guy that was freaking making the earth tremble? It's just freaking Jonathan Kleck. I know him. You know, that's what's going to happen. And that'll be proven. I mean, eventually, in one of these damn videos, I got to at least share that with you, that, you know, I know this is going to happen for me. It's going to happen. It continually does. But this is what I want everybody else to experience. When it does happen, everything else that I said afterwards, the way things are going to go is going to happen too, because how can it flow all together? It's like events happen first, and then the end result happens because of the events. So when that starts to happen, these end results that I'm talking about are happening as well. It just comes down to faith. Why would I stop believing now? I've believed for these 2.5 years. Now I realize that I've gotten everybody's attention that I need to get on planet Earth, and it's proven. I have plenty of witnesses that can back that up on the other end that are surveilling, because that's your job. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Your job. Thanks for doing your job. The surveillance thing had a different meaning to it before, but, you know, it serves God's purpose. 100%. So my future comes from this. Exposing who's in charge of this. Showing you the events that happens before he does it, because his mouth is getting himself convicted. I can't believe he continues to talk. He has to, like, tell us what he's doing. He's giving away so much. I feel like it's almost not even fair, and it's, you know, all of them against just me. It's not even like it's that your ego won't be able to handle something like that. One person from the outside taking you down. How's that fucking possible? Because I studied the damn world script. How can't you stop this clown after the script's over?